Good morning, you guys. Kim here, and it is a special guest Saturday once again in the 21 Days of Nutrition presented by Kim's Prescription for Health. And we have Ash, our favorite holistic nutritionist, today talking through FODMAPs. Like, what in the heck is a FODMAP? So she'll give us the down low, share some useful info, let you know if it's something that you should be concerned about and eliminating from your diet. So I'll let her take it away.
Hi guys. So FODMAPs are actually an acronym for the short chain carbohydrates that the body can't actually digest. It's more important for people with IBS and SIBO as it can really make a huge difference in terms of your symptoms and how you feel. So to better understand what FODMAPs are, we're going to break down the acronym and then dig a little deeper. So the F in FODMAPs is for formidable. And that's just the way the gut bacteria digest and ferments the carbohydrates that you eat. O is for the oligosaccharides. So that's going to be the fructans and the galacto-oligosaccharides, like your garlic, onions, and legumes. The D is for your lactose. So it's the disaccharides. And lactose is the milk sugar that you can have allergies to, which is a whole lot of fun. M is for monosaccharides, and that's for any sort of excess fructose. So whenever there's more fructose than glucose in a food, your body has some issues digesting, and that would be things like honey, apples, stuff like that. And then the A is for and then P is for polyols, so your sugar alcohols, which can be naturally found in fruits and some vegetables, and then of course the ones that are added in for preservatives like mannitol and sorbitol. So what happens with FODMAPs is that when you eat them, your body can't properly digest them, so they ferment. And then the ferment brings water into the small intestine and just creates havoc all over the place. And so you get distension, abdominal pain, nausea, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, all the fun stuff. But with a low FODMAP diet, which is created by the Monash University in Australia, what they do is it's a 3-step diet. So you do elimination, reintroduction, and then the maintenance part. So with the elimination, you just remove any high FODMAP foods that could be causing your triggers for about 6 weeks. So you really want to wait until that there are no more symptoms going on before you can actually reintroduce to get a clearer picture of what's causing the issues. And then during the reintroduction phase, you're just adding a small amount of an example of each of the food groups in the FODMAP section and waiting about 3 days, because a reaction can occur within 30 minutes to 72 hours later. Then you'll go through each of the groups, documenting all of your symptoms and side effects, and then you can actually reintroduce the ones that didn't give you issue rather than just eliminating them forever. So the FODMAP diet is actually a way to gain back foods that you thought you were having issues with but weren't. So the goal is to never fully eliminate but have as much options in your food as possible, which is great. And then I found a fun fact while I was researching a little extra into it, that the pickling process with certain things like your canned legumes, for example, chickpeas and stuff like that, actually decreases the FODMAP content of the food itself, because the FODMAPs, I think in legumes, it's the galacto-oligosaccharides, leach into the brine. So as long as you drain and rinse, you can actually digest them a bit better than you would normally, which is pretty cool. There isn't a treatment for IBS with the FODMAPs. The FODMAPs is really the best way to try and, I guess, control the symptoms and just give you a more normal life. It helps with SIBO as well, but the SIBO diet, the small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which is often misdiagnosed as IBS, can definitely be a little trickier to navigate. But yeah, so just a whole lot of fun stuff.
More eliminating and trying and trial and error, just like everything else we've talked about. Sounds like digestive issues are like the hardest, because it's just eliminating everything and then trying, and then lots of doctor's appointments and a lot of tests that don't tell you a whole lot of anything.
Basically. So with FODMAPs, it's all serving sizes, which makes it challenging, because you can do FODMAP stacking, which is you'll eat all low FODMAP, But if you just go a little too much on one or the other, or eat them all back to back at the same meal, you can definitely trigger reactions that normally wouldn't have happened.
Okay, so it's you said it was I want to say dose dependent because I'm a pharmacist, but it's service size
Basically,
dependent.
yeah.
Okay, and then FODMAPs, is this the one that sometimes gets confused, or not confused, but gluten sensitivity or gluten issues sometimes can be related to FODMAPs instead of gluten? Okay.
So it's for IBS people, for the most part, unless you've been diagnosed with celiacs, it's not actually the gluten you're having issues with, it's the FODMAP items in the item that you're eating, because gluten products typically are higher in FODMAP from other ingredients, and people just assume it's the gluten. The same thing goes with dairy.
It's so interesting. Okay. Well,
The whole
yeah,
process.
I know all of it. Well, I know I've definitely heard you talk about FODMAPs before, but that was the first time I'd ever really heard about it. So it's kind of interesting to hear what foods that they're in. Today, Ash did send over some great resources. Was it Monash? Is that the? Okay.
That's the university that created it. They also have an app. It's about $8. It's the best app you're ever going to buy. And what it does is it has an extensive list of the FODMAP foods, and then it'll rank them via color. So reds are high, yellow are moderate, and then green are safe. And they're constantly updating it to try new foods, so that way you always have a great up-to-date resource.
Okay, so anybody that has this issue or who is considered eliminating FODMAPs, IBS, SIBO, any of those digestive issues, this app, totally worth the money. We also shared some resources from that website, and then she sent over a delicious deviled egg, like low FODMAP deviled egg recipe that she brought to our birthday weekend, and oh my gosh, it was so good. They taste just like regular deviled eggs, so you could definitely try this. It's pretty amazing. All right, you guys. Ash, thanks so much for hopping on again, and I'm sure we will have you on in the future for other fun topics because you always have some great info to share with us. All right, guys, have a great day.